Hello everybody, Bobby's gone live. Oh, let's have a look. Cap's a bit crooked today. Is anybody watching today? I'm going to chat to you while I feed a bit. Who's the first person on today, I wonder? Oh, there's a few on already. Chris Davis, hi Chris. Let's get some feeding because I've been setting my phone up, and then when you're setting your phone up, it takes a little while to get the fish back because I'm catching them up in the water. Hello Tony. Tony Watling. Yeah, I'm catching the fish. I'll tell you where I am in a minute. I'll just wait till a few people come on. Mark Lucas, hi Mark. Chris Rogers, hi Chris. Here I'm out fishing, it's beautiful. Lovely blue sky, everybody out enjoying themselves. I stopped feeding for a little while. I was catching up in the water and I just stopped feeding while I set my phone up. I wonder, they were really good. I say up in the water, no, I'm fishing quite a depth, but with spread shot. But I thought I need to feed. When you're fishing up in the water, you need to keep feeding. So I thought, while I'm getting people in, I'll just try and keep feeding and maybe catch an odd fish or two. Had some big skimmers up in the water. Hi Paul. Philippe. I wonder if the fish have gone. I don't think they've gone, but they'll be back. But when you're feeding, when you're loose feeding, I'm probably fishing. Yeah, I've got one anyway. When you're fishing, sort of, suppose where I'm fishing, it's about 11 or 12 foot deep. But I'm only fishing about 8 foot deep with spread shot. I'll just get this one, it's only a roach, but I've been catching skimmers there. It's a nice roach on single maggot. I'll tell you where I am and I'll show you where I am in a minute as well. Let's just see if we can get one or two fish feeding. Martin's watching. Tony's watching. No work today, Tony. Oh no, it's Bank Holiday Monday, isn't it? Bank Holiday. Do you know what? I don't even know. Every day is a bank holiday for me, so it doesn't make any difference. But it's great to see so many people out. Beautiful weather. So I'm at Dismere in Dis. I fished here last week and won the match. It was called the Dis Masters. Don't know about that, but it was a good match and I won it. And I was sitting on this peg. And at the end of the match, I started to catch a lot of fish. Skimmers and that, right up in the water where I was loose feeding. And it wasn't a particularly warm day. It's not. Even now the water temperature's well down. But I noticed, 2 weeks ago when I was fishing here, it was better to keep the fish in your peg. The best way was just to loose feed. I wasn't watching that one, I don't know if I lost that fish or not. It was loose feeding maggot, cupping in ground bait as well, but loose feeding maggot. It was a good fish, that one. There's some big hybrids in here as well. That one took my maggot. So when they take your maggot, you know they're good fish. And you'd think just for these skimmers, just cupping in ground bait in like, say 3-4 metres of water, you'd think that would be the best way to catch them, wouldn't you? Well, I would anyway. But unless you loose fed as well, you couldn't keep the fish coming. So cupping and loose feed. But I started today, cupped in, I had a biggish hybrid right early on, then I couldn't catch, it was a struggle. I came in close, but that was perch, lots of perch, not really very good. Then after about 2 hours of feeding out there at about 11.5 metres I'm at the moment, then the fish started to come and I've had a really good run of skimmers on the bottom, odd roach, not many roach feeding today though, I don't know whether it's falling or not. So odd roach, a bit of everything. Really good. And I come up in the water and caught a few. Then I went back on the bottom and I had this big skimmer, about 1.5 pounds, and it's a tree above me, and I was coming in just about to net this big skimmer. And it don't often happen to me. The rig went up in the tree. I got it back anyway, minus the hook and a couple of droppers. So then I thought, oh well, I'll concentrate on up in the water now, and that's what I've been doing. I've been catching nicely, really. Been catching some good fish too, skimmers. I say skimmers, like 1.5 pounds. When does a bream become a skimmer? I think probably when it's about 2 pounds. I'm going to show you where I am in a minute and what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to loose feed, then I'll try and catch a fish. The trouble is, if I get hold of my camera to show you what I'm doing, got another one. Yeah, they're taken right up in the water. So I'm fishing with. Get this one in, and I'll show you. Fishing with a reasonable size for fishing up in the water. I'm fishing with a reasonable size. This is a nice. There's a skimmer right up in the water. I'll show you. Got to net this one. I wonder if these fish have been spawning already. I don't know. Probably have. Look, they're sort of like, well, good size skimmers really. 12 ounce. I wonder if they are spawning or have been spawning. Yeah, lovely. Bobby. A little bobby skimmer. Who used to kiss those fish? An Australian, wasn't it? Rex Hunt, was it? Used to kiss all these fish, didn't he? So I've got the fish there up in the water. Now if I stop, Giles says hello. Hi, Neil Parkinson, another good friend of mine. Hi, Neil. Lovely to see so many people. And when I go all through this in the evening, and I see everybody who's gone on or have made a comment, or if they've asked a question, I try and answer it. But amazing, sometimes I miss people, but Australia, Thailand, Belgium, Germany, Holland, all over really. Italy, lovely fishing. Hope you've got some suntan. No, I've got no suntan cream on, Steve. I should have really, I know. Oh, my daughter's watching from Scotland. Deborah, my daughter Deborah's watching. My two daughters are in Scotland and my youngest grandson, Isaac, they're all in Scotland this weekend. It's great, isn't it, that people can get out again, fishing, and you can actually go to a restaurant and eat inside and get food. I'm just going to try and catch one more up in the water, then I'll show everybody where I am. This is fabulous fishing. Just dropping these shots, just dropping these maggots in. Billy's over there, he's my friend Billy Hughes. I come up here today, brought Bernie up as well. She's out with Blanca. I don't know what they're doing. I'm looking at flowers, I think. Oh, this is not a big one, this is only a roach. I had a big rudd up in the water as well. This is a roach. Let's just show you where I am. And then talk a little bit about the fishing, how I'm fishing today. As I say, the trouble is, if I stop feeding, the fish will go, so I'll keep interrupting. Shall we have a look at my rig? Let's have a look at my rig. So I've got quite a big float on there. Look, that is that's a DT Nevis, 0.6 of a gram. So that's, yeah, and I've just blackened the tip, orange and black. Oh, when you get a bite, when you're up in the water, usually it just flies away. You're not looking for little digs, it just goes. And then I've spaced my shot out fairly well down because I'm in deep water. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 number 8s. 9 number 8 shot. Now, number 8 shot is 0.7 of a gram, so 9,763, 0.63 of a gram. That's how accurate these DT Nevis floats are. I've got what size hook? I'll show you them in a minute. I've got a 16, that's it. 16 classic, but it's quite a small hook. It's more like. Let's just catch one more fish out there, then I'll show you where I am. this 16 is more like an 18 really. If you have a look at it, it's only 0.10 hook length. It's not really a massive hook. You can't really see it there, can you? Probably. Let's get it in front of the camera. These iPhones are brilliant, aren't they? Sun's out. Is the sun? I don't know if the sun's in the camera at all, or whether I'm a bit in the. Probably am a bit in the dark, and I. But there you are. We can just say it's a proper suntan, can't we? Bank holiday Monday. As I say, every day's a bank holiday for me, isn't it? Just a few maggots, not a big blast of maggots. I think I've probably loose fed about, a pint and a bit, you know. So in 2 or 3 hours fishing. But I really had a good hour on nice sized skimmers on the bottom and also up in the water. So I'm just dropping this in now. Usually there's signs that there's fish there all the time. It's lovely. The lovely blue sky behind me. Brilliant, isn't it? So every time I go out to lay and I'm laying those shot on, it's like dead in a line, so it drops through the water more slowly. Don't just drop your rig in. Make sure you lay it in. And then even if it gets to it's not to the bottom, but if it's at full depth, your rig, you can leave it there. The fish will take it because they're whizzing about taking those maggots at all depths. So some will be quite well down, some will be up in the water. I'm searching through from top to bottom. I think I had one big skimmer. I bet it took the bait almost off the top today. You wouldn't believe it. And well, I wouldn't believe it because earlier there was no fish there. You'd think there'd be lots of fish on the bottom and then they come up. No. I did start to catch on the bottom after 2 hours. And then, but there's signs that there's fish there all the time. Now let's see if we can catch a skimmer. Now I'm going to show you what it's like fishing. So I've caught on the bottom first of all with a 1.5 gram float, and it was probably getting on for sort of 3.5, 4 metres deep. So a good depth, single maggot on the bottom as well. I've tried 2 dead reds, but single maggot because I suppose it's a bit tough. I'm just going out feeding. Just there's signs all the time. There's fish there. I'm trying to catch a big one if I can. I'm greedy, really. These skimmers are lovely to catch. My daughter's saying we've just been on a boat. And a trip around Loch Ness. Lovely. Well, your daddy's catching loads of fish. There's another one. I think this is a roach again. Perhaps a roach have moved in. No, it's a skimmer. Skimmer up in the water. Not big, but this one's only about £0.5 pound, but it's unbelievable how you can catch them one after the other. Lots of fish, really. Let me show you this skimmer. Gorgeous fish, all hooked properly in the mouth. Lovely, big, perfect condition. Perfect condition. My friend Jerry's saying watch out for the sun. Chris Kelly's watching. Now I go through all these in the evening, and if there's any questions, just ask any questions. Slip him in the net. Let's have a little look. I'll show you a little bit about where I am. So that's the rig I'm on, 0.6 of a gram. I've got them number 8 shots. The hook length I've got on here is about probably 20 centimetres of 0.10. And then the shots, I've got them fairly close. I bet there's only, if you have a look, there's only sort of 2 inches, so 5 centimetres between those shots, those number 8. So I've got them, because it's so deep, I mean, I've got this float set at, I bet it's, I'm trying to think how far that would be. I bet it's over, 2 metres, well over 2 metres, that probably 8 foot. I'm catching them shallow. Let's just put that rig down and show you where Bobby is today. Can I get this out without mucking it up? You've got to be careful. Right, you don't want to look at me all the time, do you? Let's show you where I am. So this is Dismere. There's the mere. About a 6-acre lake. Beautiful, full of natural fish. There is some big carp in here, carp up to 40, I think. It is a day ticket water, but you can get a club ticket, £40 for the year. That's ridiculous. It's so cheap, isn't it? £40. You imagine like a carp angler, £40 for a year's fishing. That's fabulous. Yeah, there's the park itself. Look, loads of people out in the park today. Look, loads of people, all enjoying themselves. Lovely, isn't it? So I'm fishing with my Exosphere, probably at about, I think about 11.5 metres, because I've got my half butt in there. Let's come round to me. Hi, David Simmons. I miss so many people because it's flying up through here all the time, isn't it? Here's my electric trolley. I wouldn't do without that now. Lovely that is. There's the park, beautiful. Looks lovely, doesn't it? Right, what about my gear? Let's have a look at my gear. There's my phone with my credit card in it. So I've got some pinkies. There's some dead reds there in that dirty water. Dead reds. Some lovely casters there that I took off this morning. I haven't got many of my maggots left. I started off with probably 2 pints, and there's not so many left now, and a few casters there as well. I'll have to go up and see Billy, see if he's got any bait. Not got much of my ground bait left either, so I've been putting dead reds and casters in there. So on the rig I was fishing on the bottom, I had that 1.5mm micro bore. It's an orange elastic with an 18 match to 010. That was exactly what I fished. But that 18 is miles bigger than the 16 in the Classic. That's just the way hooks go, isn't it? But that's a lovely skimmer hook, perfect. And that's a lovely single maggot roach hook. So I've got 1.3mm of green hollow elastic. It's micro bore, but that'll be a bit thinner than hollow elastic would be. It's like a hybrid elastic, I suppose. My sphere roller there, back there, my bag, all my gear in it. Billy's dogs are over there, but they're a long way away, you can't see them. There was a carp angler in the next peg earlier, so Billy couldn't get in there. He's fishing up further. Shall I try and catch another fish for you? Shall I? One more? Let's have a look. Let's see if we can catch another fish. God, I love this live feed. So good. Let's see if I can catch. I'd like to catch one of them big skimmers now. I should really go on the bottom now, but it means I've got to get up and put another rig on. I went up in a tree above me, and I was pulling and I had a towel wrapped around my hand, but the float still went in my knuckle there, stuck in there. Only a float stuck in your hand, isn't it? So I'm going to feed a little bit more. They soon go, because as soon as you stop feeding, of course the fish are up there feeding. As soon as there's no feed coming, they will drop down and go away. So really, when you're feeding, I like a sort of, it's not too soft, that elastic, but it's not too hard either. If it's too stiff, when you've got a heavyish bait like a maggot or a caster that spreads them too much. And wind's blowing in at me today, so it's not easy to get the feed really tight. I could feed tighter last week, but I thought I'd come back and reenact what happened last week with so many fish coming up in the water, and they've done it again. I wondered if it was just a one-off or whether it was, that's the way. They definitely here, everywhere's different, but it's always feeding, isn't it? If you come and sat down here and didn't put any feed in, you wouldn't catch anything. You might catch one or two fish, but you would hardly catch anything. Now with that strung out shot, I can lay it dead. It's not really running today. Normally if it's running a bit, I'll lay it whichever way it's running, but although there's a bit of wind, it's not moving at all. And I always like to use Now, I am not left-handed. I know on this live feed it makes it look as if I'm not left-handed, but I am not left-handed. But I like to use, you can't see it there, always like to use, that's my half butt there. It's always much stiffer than the pole. It's stronger, I mean, not stiffer. It's much stronger than the pole itself. You know, you can, so when you're feeding with your catapult, let me just get that round a bit so you can see. When you're feeding with your catapult, you know, it's really tough and strong there. You haven't got to worry about crushing your pole. Let's get some bait out now. Oh, blimey, don't know what I've hooked here. It shot out, took all the elastic. Hooked itself, that one. Don't know what it is. Be surprised what fish you can catch. It took elastic, it's a big skimmer, but it just took elastic. Be surprised what you can catch just doing something different. You think, skimmers, up in the water. That's what we want to do, but it don't work like that, does it? You sort of think, and it's much better fishing. You don't need to be on the bottom. Fish up in the water, do something different. This is a nice one. This is like a, well, £1.5, I reckon. Good pound anyway. See that? Just taking them the bait. That's what happens once fish start competing. Another big skimmer. These are a match angler's dream because I just about get my hand around that one, but it is over a pound. It's a beauty. Look at that. Took that bait right down as well. Don't know if my other grandson's watching today. Noah, he's getting keen on fishing. Hey, we could have another one of the Nudd family coming through. That one took it right down. It's unbelievable. I wonder it shot off with it. It didn't even look at it. Look at that beautiful golden colour. Young and strong. You know when they're that golden colour? It's just so strong. That one really did the baiting, look at that. Really gorged it. I think it's probably because I weren't really looking at the float, I was chatting to you. I was just chatting away and fishing, just trying to get out of the glare of that sun. Where is it? Don't know how bad it is, or what the wind lies. How are you, Dave Turner? Another good friend of mine. I suppose a lot of people, I don't know if it's bank holiday in Germany or abroad now. Should we catch you one more? Let's catch another one. Let's catch another one up in the water. Now remember, I'm not left-handed, I'm right-handed. It always comes out looking funny on that screen. Everybody says to me, "Are you left-handed, Bob?" I said, "No, not left-handed." Look how you can trap. Put your arm on your pole there, just trap it. This is a strong section, this is a half butt. And then you can feed. Just get those loose feed maggots, honestly, it's just a brilliant way to fish. Just drop it in. If it's there for a little while, then I'll lift it up and drop in again. I've mucked up my feeding a bit now, chatting away and showing you what I'm doing, but I just wanted to come back here, where I fished last week, this in Norfolk. I just wanted to see if them fish would come again as they did last week, and it took longer today. I think it took longer for me to get a bite today, but Billy was catching quite a few. He caught more fish earlier, then he just came down and said he's struggling now, but he's fishing a little bit closer in. I don't think that's it though. I don't know what it is, but we're both loose feeding maggot. I think Billy will be loose feeding maggot. When I finish this, I might get up and put another rig up. Because I've got some there for fishing on the bottom. It's just a matter of putting it up, that's all. Just dropping it in, letting it run through. Letting it run from top to bottom. I think the fish are everywhere when you're loose feeding. I can imagine it might feel warm to you, but that water temperature is still very, very low. It's not really hot. Just dropping this, if we can get one more. Might be. If there's a big hybrid there, that'll spoil it. That wind's fairly, well, it's not really strong for holding the pole, but it's blowing in at you. So when you're feeding maggots, and if you tried to feed pinkies or anything, or squats, you wouldn't be able to feed them at that distance. Casters you would, of course. But I think probably maggots go through the water a little bit more slowly. They don't go through as quick as caster. So, I don't know. And I'm not getting bitted out with little fish, odd roach, but mainly the fish I'm catching on this are quite good quality. So if I was getting lots of small roach, then I'd switch and start to feed caster and put caster on the hook. That would usually cure it. Might be a bigger fish there now, because it just sometimes if it goes quiet, there is some big carp in here, but I've never hooked one. There don't seem to be any predators. There's lots of little perch, but there doesn't seem to be any pike in here. I suppose there must be, but I've never seen one. Just letting it drop down to the bottom. Something's upset the fish. Better check, see if I've got a bait on. Do you know what? I haven't got a bait on, I think. Thought something funny had happened. Maybe. Something had happened. I thought, well, I've not had a bite. Look, I have not got a bait on. Have you ever done that? Have you ever did that in the World Championship once? Don't tell Dick Clegg. We're fishing on, where were we? Fishing in Portugal, that's right. I was out fishing a waggler right on the far bank. It must have been out there for about 10 minutes. I come in there with no bait on. 10 minutes in the World Champs without bait on your hook. I never told him that one. Well, I never told anybody that one. It's the first time I've told anybody. I just remembered it. So that's why I didn't get a bite. Just said, hey, I could have fished here for another 3 hours, couldn't I, without any bait on? Wondered why it hadn't gone. Hiya. I'm just doing a live feed and I'll be with you in a minute.
Yeah, all right. I'm just watching it.
Oh, yeah?
You pick up a lot of fish, can't you?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
The other people who know. How many you got?
Oh, no, I've caught quite a few.
Dozen?
No, I've caught loads.
Wasn't little ones?
No, big ones. I've had big bream, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
nice, good. That's what's coming then.
Yeah. I'm just doing a live feed.
A live feed? What do you call a live
It's a live feed. I'm talking to a load of people.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. No, it's okay. You can stand there. So I'm just talking. This is what they call a live feed.
Right.
So this goes all over the world.
So I can get you at home?
Yes. Oh, yeah. You'll see it at home. Yeah. This goes all over the world. So if you, but I will post it tonight. But so if you're at home watching your phone, you'd see me on there, chatting to people, and all these people that come on here.
I'll see if I can get mine. Must be interesting. She said, "What have you been doing down there all day?"
So that's what they call live feed. So I just had. I'm talking to my phone now. So I just had a little roach. And I'll go out again and fancy being out there without a bait on. And wondered, think, why haven't I had a bite yet? Yeah. So you talk to people all over the world. It's all right. Just got an interested spectator here who was here earlier this morning, chatting to me.
Where does he live here?
Yeah, he lives here. Yeah, he's a dis local.
I'm a dis boy, yeah.
It's unreal now. Every time I go in, there's a fish, which is really good. Different size, some skimmers, some roach, but really quick. And it's a skimmer. What I said to you before, that the speed of catching fish is about the speed of the bite. So if you can go in on the drop and catch. You are not waiting for a bite then, so you're catching quicker. Smaller skimmer this time, but still a lovely fish. Still not tiny. Big for Bobby. Should we catch one more for you? What do you think? Oh, Dave Turner said, Dave's obviously not fishing today. He's probably out with his family. Let's just unhook that one. With my Slamo disgorger. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful skimmers. Right, one more, and then we're going to finish.
Any ones for the big ones?
No, I might do later. Oh, that looks like somebody from Spain. Dave Turner says lovely fishing. Yeah, it'll only be, it's about 2 weeks before I really start work, proper work, when I'm match fishing. So about 2 weeks when I start my first river matches. But I'm up here today with Billy. I've brought my wife up, Bernie's come up. And we're going to have a fondue tonight. Blanca makes lovely steak fondues, and I think that's what we're having once we're finished. So I'm just feeding every cast a few maggots. Try not to stop, just try to keep going in. Let's see if we can catch one more, well, a skimmer or whatever will be out there. Really, as long as you've got a bait on the hook, you definitely get a bite. But why weren't they feeding this morning? Why did it take 2 hours for them to really come on? I don't know. I'm checking my bait now every time. When I go in, I'm checking I haven't got bait on. Fancy that, doing a live feed. A bit like Mark Pollard when he does a live feed and there's no fish there, or he doesn't catch any fish. I'm almost just as bad doing the live feed without any bait on the hook. Just dropped in again. Let's see if we can finish. I should have finished on that last one, really, shouldn't I? I'll tell you where we are then. Now another good fish again. Another good skimmer. Lovely fish. This is like a natural lake, natural water. I've got that 1.3 microbore on here, and that's perfect for that size hook. Another one of them, another biggish skimmer. I wouldn't think you'd catch fish this size up in the water like this. You'd think you'd be better off fishing on the bottom, wouldn't you? But no. Another good netter. This is what I was catching last week. But I just wanted to come back and try again to see if what I did last week worked, and it did. It took a little bit longer today, but look at the size of them. And they're coming in quick, one after the other. I mean, I'm chatting to you, so it takes a bit longer, doesn't it? So there you are. Bobby's live feed today, catching skimmers. Oh, up in the water. We'll let that one go back. Gone back. Only landed on the grass. Slipped back in there. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of live feed today. Really, as I always say, I really appreciate it. I need an audience. Everybody needs an audience. We rely on you to watch. Oh, let me show you. I just want to show you that. There's that knot that I use just so that I get perfect presentation. It's called a 3-turn surgeon's knot. There you are. There, look, and I put that bottom shot right against there, and you never ever get a tangle. This is a rig I fished with last week. I haven't changed it at the end of the match last week. Same today, and that'll still be fine. Hook's good. A sphere, classic hook that is, size 16. Quite a small hook though, perfect for single maggot. Or single, probably might even be a bit small for a single caster, but just right for a single maggot. So, I will say goodbye, and thanks everybody for watching, really appreciate it. And when will I be back again? I'm not sure, but probably maybe next week, although I've promised Bernie a holiday. I should be in Ireland this week, really. I missed that. I was seeing all the results coming in, but can't do everything, can you? Okay, bye for now. I'm going to finish, but I will post this, so anybody who's missed it, doesn't matter, you can watch it later. Bye.